To, jama'a, assalamu alaikum. Barkanmu da saduwa a wannan sabon shiri na maimakon in kajuwa ne, wani shi ma shiri ne na musamman wannan wanda aka ƙirƙire shi domin ilmantarwa da kuma nushe jama'a mu musamman matasa ga yanda ake ciki a duniyar ilimi na kwamfuta. Wannan shiri na ƙware-ƙwaren webinar ya samu mutane ƙungiyoyi guda biyu ne suka haɗa shi, da shi feji namu na makarantarmu wanda kun san shi kuma daga nan kuke kallo, wanda an ƙirƙiri wannan feji ne ba don komai ba kamar yadda sunan shi ya bayyana, na makarantarmu domin koyar da al'umma. Akwai shirye-shirye iri-iri wanda za mu ci gaba da kawo muku, banda shirin in kajuwa ne. Wannan shiri ne wanda ci gaba wanda muka yi kwanakin baya akan na wai menene wannan abin shi ChatGPT. To wannan kuma Bing Chatbox ne wanda ci gaba ne na ChatGPT. Ɗayan kamfanin da kuma ya kawo muku wannan nauyin program shine Open School Initiative. Shi lokacin da aka yi aka rufe makarantu dalilin corona, sai wani al'umma suka zo suka ce a'a maimakon yara su dinga zama a gida ba sa yin komai, me yasa ba da ƙirƙiri wani abu platform kenan kamar a yi amfani da shi wannan saha na intanet domin a gaba da ilmantar da yara. To wannan kamfani shi na Open School Initiative ɗin haka, bari kira shi kamfani ba, gwamma a kira shi da non-profit, ban san shi da Hausa ba, nan irin wanda ake kiran su dai masu giving back to society ne dai in essence haka. Sai aka yi wannan domin a dinga koyar da yara lissafi, chemistry, physics, wacece yakon zauna a gida tun da ba a zuwa makaranta. To shi wannan initiative ɗin na Open School da makarantar mu su ne suka haɗin gwiwa domin su kawo muku wannan program ɗin na menene shi wannan
Dr. Adam.
Bing Chat, na?
Kasan muna da participant from all over, so you need to change the language, I think.
Okay, come English. I'm sorry. I presume it was it is Inkajiwani. Sorry to our other participants who don't actually have good appreciation of Hausa. And nonetheless, I was just actually informing our audience about who actually organized this webinar, which is a collaboration between Makarantamu and Open School Initiative. That's by the by. Today, we have two interesting presenters. And before then, the topic is actually the first slide, Dr. Najib. Not this one. The ultimate tool, the subtopic, Bing Chat, the ultimate tool for everyday work. Computer is here to actually help us to make best use of our capabilities and abilities. So we want to introduce our, not introduction, but rather to actually bring out the potentials, the promises of this new tool called AI, that is actually increasingly becoming so strong and indispensable. We cannot run away from it. So the best way is actually let's understand what this AI is. And before us, we have Dr. Najib, who will be one of the speakers. Is one of the co-founder of the Open School Initiative. And we have Dr. Noura, who is actually a lecturer in London and will be the second speaker, while Adamu will be with you as the moderator. But before then, we would love to always, all the time, listen from our audience. Could you let us know where you are actually watching us from? And don't hesitate to actually leave question to whatever you want to. And I will surely read your question. I will select some and read to our speaker, and they will answer it. They will answer your questions accordingly. Please let us know where you are watching us from. Dr. Najib. Yes. Okay. Why is this webinar? Why Bing Chat? Deep dive, Q&A. These are the outline for this presentation. Why this webinar? If you are following news trend, you realize that there are some that may even say that, okay, AI actually has come to, substitute human being, will no longer be useful. I remember even an article by one of the proponents of this AI, Yuval Harari, called The Rise of a Useless Society. I mean, he's actually trying to portray that, okay, hey, AI will make a lot of people useless. So we don't want you to be useless. We actually want you to be useful. And that is really why we organize this webinar. Why Bing Chat? Well, like you all know, I'm a farmer. So why Bing Chat will actually be appropriately answered by our distinguished speakers. And they will actually make use of the cases. I mean, you see how this Bing Chat is being used with your korokoro eyes. So there will be a lot of cases, so that please follow us in the next 1 hour, whereby you see, okay, hey, what can we do with this Bing Chat? And then there will be room for question and answer, so that to ask your question and even suggestion for that you may have to how to improve this presentation in our subsequent outing. I will indulge all our audience to please use your browser and go to menti.com. 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 When you get, it will ask you to actually provide a password. And the password is there, and I will read it for you. Are you there? Menti.com. Visit it. You will still be listening to us and at the same time using your browser. Menti.com. The password is 54366171. I will call the password again. 54366171. What did you see? So it will ask you this question. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear about AI? What is the first word? Please, just whatever word that comes to your mind, the first word that comes to your mind, say it. We are not actually going to punish anybody. We are not actually marking. So it's just that, okay, we want to see what comes to your mind at the mention of AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, anxiety, Armageddon, wow, job loss, really? Wow, please just do share your answers. It will help us a lot in guiding the presentation and maybe in simplifying it if there are a number of people who have no idea what AI is. Okay, ChatGPT, really only robot. Okay, good. Advancement, technology, intelligence, interest in artificial, intellectual, really. Okay, good. Intelligence, job losses, smart future. Come on. Dumbfounded. Okay, good. Dr. Nura, notice that dumbfounded. Somebody is just dumbfounded about AI. Please do share your, yeah.
Dumbfounded,
What
yes.
again? Human advancement,
Yes.
complex technology. Really? Okay, it is interesting, Dr. Najib. Helpful. Okay. Another one, anyone? Search. Okay, mistakes. Future. Okay, thank you for your answers. This is really a very good exercise. But don't leave, please. There will be another question for you.
So far, only 18 people
How
19.
many people actually?
Only 19 people responded. And I think we just use
Okay,
our
15 people.
smartphone. Yeah,
Okay,
23 so
smartphone.
far.
23, good.
Let's go to up to 30 then before we move to the next.
Okay, please keep on sharing idea. Now I'll have to look for my glass because now the weights are actually many. I could not see. Let me see. Be ahead, new insight to life. Good. Have multiple solutions. Productivity. Wow, I love that word. Antimicrobial agent.
This is
Okay. Dr. Nura,
microbiologist.
you have another task before you. Okay. Good.
So far, 27 people,
Add.
3 more people
Okay.
to go.
Okay. Three more
There is
people.
laziness.
Capacity. Laziness too. Okay. Brain drain. Nutrition. Okay. Nutrition. So, man, Najib, you really have to actually help us actually tie all this in. We have antimicrobial resistance. We have now molecular microbiology. You know, and at the same time, we have productivity and we have
Yep.
future. We have Armageddon. So I know, I trust that you guys will actually tie all this in so that people should actually know what AI is and what more, much more than what they have mentioned here.
Exactly. Exactly.
Can we go to the next question, Dr. Najib?
Okay. I think we have about 30
30?
people now.
Okay, it's good. Okay. Still don't leave your mentee.com. There'll be another question for you.
Sorry, I have like something happens to my
Screen.
not my screen. Just give me a minute, please.
Okay, please. Meanwhile,
Okay.
before Dr. Najib sort out his computer, do let us know where you are actually watching us from because you want this to be engaging, and do not hesitate to ask your question. They are here to actually answer your question. Our goal is actually to make you more enlightened, more in tune with what is happening. We want to, what Hausa used to say, gudu tare, asira tare. So you don't want some people to be left behind. This is the future. Like some people mentioned in the answer to the question number 1, is the future. And the future, they used to say, is a decision. So you have to be deliberate. I really want to read your answers. Where are you watching us from? Wow, one was one from Zaria.
Just continue. Just give me a minute, please, to sort myself out.
Okay, we're patiently waiting.
Okay.
Is it sorted?
Just a minute. Like
Hmm.
just a minute. Yep. Okay. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, let me move to the
Okay. Malam Bashir Ibrahim all the way from Lagos. Thank you. Malam Husari. Dr. Najib, you have Khalil Husari here. He's watching us from Bauchi.
Oh,
Somebody from Uxbridge, London. MashaAllah. Thank you for being
okay.
with us. Okay. Now here you are. Still on that browser. How do you feel about AI? Are you excited at the mention of AI, artificial intelligence? Are you curious? Or you are just indifferent, neutral? Or you are skeptical, or afraid? Please share your answer. There are no wrong answers. So I'm not marking anyone. Okay, you're excited. Good. Who is indifferent? Let's see. Are you afraid? Do you think that maybe you may be rendered useless, like how Jibal Harari posited? Or you're just skeptical, what is this? You're not really sure what it means. You're excited. Okay. People are, you just have to be curious to be ahead. That's 9%. Good. Nobody's skeptical. Good. And nobody's neutral. At least it is a good news, Dr. Noura. Uh-huh. People are excited. Good.
I can see.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What is the final result, Dr. Najib? So 58% are excited at the
So far,
mention of AI.
22 people. Sorry?
Okay, 20 people. 37% are curious. Okay, being chatbots. Okay, AI, artificial intelligence. Dr. Nura, my question before you even get into presentation, does
Yes.
actually AI just stop at a computer level? Or it will affect somebody who is actually inside a computer? You should answer this during the presentation. So that
Yeah.
people should actually be okay. Let them know that I'm not a scientist, I'm not an IT guru, so what concern me with AI? My friend
Yeah.
is far from that. But our presenters will actually tell us what AI portend. Okay. How many do you have, Dr. Najib, now, so that we can move on? We're already 17 minutes into the
26 people
presentation.
so far. So
I
we
think we
can,
can move on. Oh, somebody's skeptical.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay. Let me
3%.
find somebody like me who is neutral.
Skeptical.
Yeah, he's skeptical about it.
Okay, let's
Okay.
move a little bit. Dr. Adamu, are you with us? I think he has an internet issue. Nura, you can take over, please. Nura,
Mm.
Hello.
Hello, we are
Dr.
with
Adamu,
you, Dr. Nura.
Okay. Yeah, he's here.
Yes. Mm.
Dr. Adamu, you should be telling us this.
Okay,
Yes.
So
Tom,
far.
no problem. So, as you know, too much is given, much is expected. Sometimes in life, privilege may have some people to be at age, or they should know something way ahead of other people. So part of the reason why we organize this webinar, both Makarantam Open School Initiative, is actually as a sort of give back to society. Society has given us a lot, so there is need to actually give back to our society. So it's just like a sort of like, let's go this together. The second one is that, okay, we really want to expose our listener to the boundless opportunities there. And I bet you will see those opportunities. Why this AI? Not just be curious or be afraid or be, even skeptical. Okay, this AI has come to stay, like I earlier mentioned. Okay, how can we actually maximize this tool so that we will not just be useless, but actually be useful, so that AI will not render us jobless. No, we'll be with our jobs. This is part of the why we organize this webinar. The third one is, okay, yes, you are doing this thing. Maybe you are like Malam Bashir that I see, who is a mentor to me in his industry, which is actually radio. Okay, how can he improve his productivity? Okay, somebody is just maybe starting his first degree or a master's research. Okay, how can you improve your productivity? Or you are just maybe an intern in a hotel. Does AI apply in a hotel? Okay, we'll see. Does AI apply in my farm? Certainly. Okay, how can you improve your productivity? Is part of the reason why we organize this webinar. Not only productivity, we want we want you, our listeners, and ourselves too, to be more creative. The world is actually is volatile, so you don't want to be left behind. And what are the capabilities and benefits of this organize this webinar? There are other reasons, but these are the 4 important considerations that we organize this webinar. Dr. Najib?
Yeah. So I think I can take over from here. Thank you so much, Dr. Adamu. One of the things that people may likely ask is why, of all these tools, we are now interested in conducting this webinar using Bing Chat. So one of the important thing the consideration that we didn't choose Chat GPT or Google Bard is the fact that number one, Bing Chat can index the web in a real time, unlike Chat GPT 3.5. So we are interested in whatever we are going to do to at least have the current information we are going to work with. That is the first justification we chose Bing Chatbot. Another justification has to do with the type of model. Like if you look at ChatGPT, that is the non-subscription one, 3.5. The model is like 3.5, while Bing Chat has this plug into it like GPT-4. In other words, we mean like the amount of data set that Bing Chat has in its corpora is much, much massive compared to that of Chat GPT 3.5. That is one of the other justification. Dr. Nura, can you go on, please?
Okay, yeah. So from here, this Bing chart has the capability, to generate, creative contents. For example, artistics design in terms of something that has to do with image. You can ask this Chat GPT to use what they call Delhi. Well, Delhi. Actually, it's a name of a Salvador, artist, and a combination of another movie. They call it Wall E. For those of you that are watching animation, Wall E is created by Pixar Production Company. So the combination of these two, they produce this name because they are using the same technique, to generate. The idea is to give a text description to this kind of AI platforms, and they can generate image for you. In the internet, even though we don't enforce the law, but there is high restriction on just going to Google, searching for an image, and then downloading and use. There are certain copyrights that you may be violating, you have no idea about. So this kind of AI now, they can help you generate image that you can use for your projects, for your documents, for your whatever you're doing. So this is one, good capability that we we can justify using this chatbot or Bing chat for this webinar. Then the next one,
Okay.
the number 4 point. Yeah, can we have it, please? Yeah, and the good thing is the tool is free for you to use. All you need to have is the Microsoft Edge browser. If you have the updated version or the latest version, you can always find the Bing icon at the top right corner of your browser. You just open and you can navigate between different, capabilities of the Bing chat, either chatting or composing and others. Actually, this webinar, we are focusing on the chat itself. And from the chat, we are using the creative, mode. There are, other precise, and other options available for you to use. At your own time, you can be able to explore different capability and see what kind of response you get from the tool. So the next one I think is from you, Najib, right? Use cases. What are the use cases we have? So we want to demonstrate certain things. But before you start, Dr. Najib, let me try to answer Dr. Tilde's question. This AI. Everybody is hearing and talking about AI. Let me try to put it in a very simple form. You know, if you go to a crossroad as a human being now, you go to a road that you want to cross over. The first thing you do is to look left and right to see is there any emerging traffic coming on. If there is no traffic, it's safe, then you cross. So you do this because you have the human or God-given intelligence in your brain. So this is a human behavior. Even some animals, they possess this kind of behavior. But if you find a robot or a car or any machine that you can give him the same intelligence, that if they want to cross, they look left and right before crossing over. So you have artificially created an intelligence and you put into that machines. So that is why we call it artificially created intelligence, installed on machines or objects to act like humans. That's the basic, or this is the simplest form of description I can think of. So this AI can come in different forms. We all hear about Tesla. Tesla is a car that can even drive itself. It can help you to drive, to move along. Airplanes, before we fly by mechanics. Today, most of the flights, they are using what we call fly by wire, meaning a computer electronics is controlling all the movement of flight from takeoff down to moving in the sky and even landing. So you can see now the planes are becoming more intelligent. If you have a fridge at home, the latest version, if you open the freezer or the fridge open for 30 minutes, it will beep and tell you that you have opened and a lot of temperature is getting out of the device. So this is kind of intelligence. So it comes in different forms. But today we are focusing on the one that is automating your daily works. And the limitation to this is your imagination. So where your imagination stops, that's where it can stop. But as long as you keep on thinking and imagine, this tool can help you move along. So I believe, yeah, I've talked too much about this, but yeah, this is something to take home, I believe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Najib.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Today, I think one of the first thing we are interested in is to understand, to learn tool, to take advantage of this tool to learn how to undertake market research. So I'm going to share my screen.
So while he's sharing, actually the idea came in, there is a lot of joblessness in our country, and people are always thinking, what can I do? What shall I do? And maybe the elderly or the successful people will be telling you, go and think, go and do this. So how do you start? So there are usually you have no experience or you have no lead. Where can I go? From where will I begin? So that is why we think, okay, you can wake up in the morning with zero idea of any business. So you can start using this AI to say that let me create a business, and then how will I even run the business, even if you have zero kobo in your pocket. So this is why we brought this idea, to say, let's share it with you. I believe, okay, yeah, doctor is ready.
Okay, so for the market research, we were able to come up with some kind of prompt questions that we asked ChatGPT to help us. So the first thing we think of asking this bank chart is just to ask it on whether it could provide insight and information on exporting moringa from Nigeria, specifically for market research purposes. We have so many people who have no idea on how to conduct market research, or they are interested in adding value to what they are currently earning from. So if you are thinking of start exporting something, then let's say there is this hibiscus or moringa, then you want to do this market research and understand. So what we do, somebody is saying the screen is blurry. Let me move the screen to another screen. Let's see.
Yeah, this one is
How
bigger.
about
No, the first one. How the first one looks bigger, I believe.
it seems like
Yeah,
is
this one
his
looks bigger. What happened?
system. Okay, I think we can maintain this one. I think it's from your side. So
But I think,
what I did is just to first of all ask. Sorry, Nura,
yeah, I can see.
are you
Yeah,
asking?
is very. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's manageable. But I don't know. Can you zoom it? Is it? Is there a way to magnify the view?
Okay, let me see. Okay, let me try.
If to magnify, because some
Let
people may
me
have
see.
like difficulty reading. So let's zoom it a little.
Yeah.
Because
So
you
it
have
is
shown one.
only zooming the other side.
Okay. No, this one I think depends on system
Just a minute.
settings. The resolution,
Yeah.
the resolution. So you may have to tamper with.
Yeah. So please bear with us. So the first thing we are looking is to understand where can we export moringa, for example, because like we have abundance of moringa there. The Mutulde can tell you about this. So we asked this AI tool to provide us with any idea on how we can export moringa, that is zogale, from Nigeria to any other market. So now it is trying to find out information from the internet to tell us where we can get this. So now it says it can really help us to find the moringa, and it is given us an oversight that Nigeria is one of the leading producers of moringa in Africa, with an estimated annual production of 1.5 million metric tons, and the global moringa market size is expected to reach 10.65 billion by 2028, and we have abundance of um, land. And what they are saying, some of the moringa products that are exported from Nigeria include moringa seed, moringa leaves, moringa oil, and moringa trunks. So this is the information that it gives us about the potential, about the market, about the kind of products that the moringa is being exported for. And then the next question we are interested in asking is, what is the current market demand for moringa product globally, so that we can understand on whether it is something we will start thinking, especially when we are interested in exporting these tools. So we are now waiting for the bank chart to give us the market demand. But before that, whatever you have seen, this Bing chart is telling us, you will realize that you can click and find out more. For example, they are saying, according to a report by CBI, global demand for moringa ingredient was estimated at 5.8 billion in 2018 and is predicted to grow by 8.9%, and of the total global market of up to 10 billion in 2015. So these are some of the information. Like when you click on this, you will see the European market potential for Moringa, and these are several links that when you click, it will take you to give you more information about what you are looking for. Next, we are going to ask another question, because now we understand where we can export it, the market potential. Now, what we are interested is to understand the major export destination. So now probably we make our mind that we will be Moringa exporters. Then where are we exporting this product? So we are now going to learn from Bing Chat how might we export this and where are we exporting this product to. So it is now telling us, according to a report by the CBI, the main European market of Moringa product are Germany, France, Netherlands, and the United Kingdom. And the American market is also growing due to the increasing demand for natural and organic product, especially in the United States and Canada. And there are other Asian countries that we can export Moringa from: Nigeria, for example, South Korea, Japan, Malaysia, and Singapore, among others. So if you are using that, everything you are touching, Bing Chat will take you to that link to tell you this is where you are going to get the information. Now, the next question someone will ask in your quest to understand how to export Moringa is, what are there any specification, like specific certification or quality standard required for exporting Moringa? As a Nigerian, probably if you need to export this to Netherlands or the United Kingdom or Singapore, so you need to have some certain requirements. So as somebody who is undertaking a market research, we need to understand that. So now some of the information we are getting from here is like, there is food safety requirement that an exporter need to really get. There is food supplement legislation you must comply with from EU Food Supplement Legislation Council. Then there is what they call Nobel Food Regulation, organic certification, and other certification on your target market and buyer preferences. You may also need to obtain other certifications such as kosher, like if you are exporting to where Jewish people are, so you need to be certified. And if you are exporting it probably to US, to the UK, the Muslim there will need to have a halal certificate on what you are exporting them. So that is another thing. The next thing is, what are the important regulations and custom procedures in the target market for the Moringa, so that you need to understand, not but beside the certifications, you need to understand the regulations. So now we are asking ChatGPT if there are any regulations they can help us with. So it is now going to tell us the requirement from the Nigerian perspective. You must have this, you must have this, you must package it, and so that you will be able to do that. Now, these are some of the regulation. Check if your Moringa product is allowed in the target market, the tariff rate, the sanitary and the phytosanitary requirement, labeling, packaging requirement, custom procedure and documentation, and import taxes and pieces. These are some of the information you will need to understand before you begin to export Moringa. Another thing is the average pricing of Moringa product in the global market, so that you can see what is happening. So for those who are complaining with the eligibility of the writing, we are going to, once you sign up with this webinar, we are going to send you the prompt so that you can use Bing Chat to try and do the market research for yourself. Now, this is the average pricing. Moringa seed sold at around 5 to 10 US dollars per kg. That is 733 times 10 per kilogram. Moringa leaves sold at around $2 to $5 per kg. Moringa powder, 10 to 20 per kg. And moringa oil is 50 to 100 per liter. Wow, this is money. Then if you are selling the trunk, you are going to sell like 0.5 to 1 per kg, $1 per kg. Then next, we are going to ask on whether there are any specific packaging requirement in your market research, because you need to have all this all-rounded information to be able to help you to see how to start exporting moringa in Nigeria. So now it is thinking of telling us the specific packaging and labeling requirement for exporting moringa from Nigeria. So it says there are some specific packaging requirements. And some of these things, it has to be the packaging must be materials that are recyclable, biodegradable, or reusable. So this leather you have all over Nigeria, you think twice. So it is another market that you start thinking of bringing recyclable packaging product that you can start, because like there may likely be an interest so that you can start selling. There are label requirement and there are certification requirement. Quickly, another question that is really important is to understand the key competitors on the global markets and what are their market shares, so that you can see how to strategically place yourself in this kind of business. Second to the last question is the potential challenges or barriers to exporting moringa in Nigeria. So you need to understand the potential challenges and barriers that will stop you, so that once you understand the problem, you can start thinking of how to work around that particular problem. And the last question, are there any government incentive or support program available for moringa exporters? So we will see to that when we are done with finding the global competitors. There is Kuli Kuli Incorporated. This is a US-based company. So I definitely believe this Kuli Kuli is from Nigeria. There is Moringa Palms. There is Moringa Initiative Limited. There is Hub Organic and General Nutrients. These are some of the big companies in the market, so that you need to take a look. You can even ask Bing Chat to give you the link to some of these companies, so that you can understand what you can learn from these big companies. So another question is, what are the potential challenges and barriers for exporting? Because like when you said you are going to start exporting this moringa, you need to understand what is going to happen there. Probably I will, let me see, okay. So some of the potential challenges is lack of experience. Exporting moringa requires knowledge of international market, quality standard, regulations, and buyer preferences. Lack of experience can cause exporters to either purchase the wrong specification, underprice or overprice their product, and make other costly mistakes. There is security and logistic issue you need to know about. There are fake buyers you need to be aware of. There is certification and quality issues. If you have problem with your certification, then some of the challenges. Then there is trade barriers. Exporting moringa requires complying with the trade barriers, among others. So these are some of the things you need to know and find a workaround in order to execute this business. The last question before I hand over to Dr. Nura is, are there government incentive or support programs available for moringa exporters in Nigeria? Then let us use that platform to understand how this thing is going to happen. So this is the last question with regard to the market research. So in this context, you can use like Sobo, is it that what you call hibiscus? Then you can export as many things as possible. Dr. Adam, we can't hear you. Nura, can you hear Adamu? Okay, Dr. Adam is okay. Let me see what is going to happen. Dr. Adam, we can't hear what you are saying.
But can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, because you left the
Okay.
studio.
Yeah, I try to, but I've been actually try to ask questions and to even maybe raise some observation to the
Okay,
audience. To start
yeah,
with, moringa is zogale.
yeah,
And this example of this moringa is just one example. You can think of, like he started mentioning, he just mentioned zobo. Okay, how can we export sabdarifa, that is hibiscus, or rather zobo? Everybody knows it as zobo. You know, you
yeah,
can use this prompt to actually generate critical information for you to engage in export marketing. And at the same time, you can even use the same prompt to actually engage to understand the marketing even in Nigeria. It doesn't have
yeah,
to take it to London. You can decide to, okay, hey, what are the major demands in Lagos? For example, demands for kuka. You know, you can, that is baobab. The same thing, kuka kwalaba. What do you call it? I think, yeah, kuka kwalaba. That
mm,
um, kuka baobab seedling, you know, it has a very nutritious content in it, is in that seed. So this example of market research or market analysis that just done by Dr. Najib is actually to give us like an idea of what we can do in mining critical information from Bing Chatbox. And he clearly stated one of the advantages of Bing Chatbot is that it can index, meaning it can actually show you, okay, here are the reference links so that you can go and further your research. And at this point, I will invite Dr. Nura to go on with another case. Dr. Nura, thank you, Dr. Najib, for this beautiful. I hope we'll share the prompt with you guys so that it can actually help you to, you know, how to do your prompt, how to ask the question. About prompt, you can actually, what do you call it, watch our previous webinar.
okay.
Dr. Nura,
So, Dr. Nura,
carry
I
on.
think you are in the studio now. You can share
Yes.
your
Mm,
screen.
Yeah, I'm in the
You
studio.
can
You
share.
know, the computer has just updated, and
okay.
Okay.
yes, trying to
So, can
show
I
you the.
continue before you come back?
Yeah, please try. Yeah,
Mm,
continue this next section while I figure
Okay.
this out.
So the next
mm.
the next the next question is Nura will be taking us on the funding aspects. So he will be taking us on the funding aspect, and so probably I will jump the funding aspect and talk about one other important thing I believe is really useful for our people. Like during one of my interviews that Adamu today on Makaran Termo platform, one of the things I shared based on my experience, because I have been running CB clinic for like 7 different episodes in Nigeria, I realized where there is a lot of gap with regard to writing, attention grabbing CB. Not only that, CB that can scale what we call ATS, applicant tracking system, because there is this traditional CB we write where we write our name, our surname, our local government, our quarters, our age, our sex, our location, and almost every other thing that most of these organizations, sorry, uh, sorry, I think I mistakenly touched the maybe some few minutes. Okay, I'll be back. Nura, if you have prepared, let me know, please. sorry for the for the
It is
for
okay.
the
Yeah,
Dr.
it's
Adamu, can you hear me,
regulating.
please? So what
Yes,
I'm
we can
saying,
hear
it's
you
like
very well.
most of the way we write CB is traditional in nature and may not likely scale the applicant tracking system. Because if you are applying for a job, like you'll get a lot of people applying, so the HR people may not have enough time to sieve all the CVs. All they need to do is just to put it in a software that will look at some of the keywords, and if it did not correspond to what they are looking, they'll just throw it out. So with that in
Just
mind, we
in
are
Gwari
trying to
Gwari, what Dr. Najib mean is that it's not human being that is actually checking your CV. It is computer. And computer will actually feel no any sympathy for you because you mention your sex or where you are coming from. So that is really in essence what he's trying to say. It is a software that is actually
yeah.
checking
So
your CV. Come
yeah,
on, Dr. Najib.
yeah. So to help you tweak your CB to be in tune with the current trend, so we come up with about 4 type of prompt that will give you this kind of help. So the first question we are asking the chat GPT to help us with is, please provide me with the basic structure of standard and award-winning CV. I would like to see the recommended section and their order. So you can see it will give us the recommendation and everything. And one day someone asked me, why am I putting please when I'm asking either Chat GPT or Bing or Bard? I am asking, I am saying please, because somebody has said sometimes if this artificial intelligence take over the world and it recognizes you are not being nice to it, so it may likely come for you. So I'm saying please so that when it comes, I may likely be a friend because I want to be polite.
Okay.
So based on the question we ask Bing Chat to help us with the basic structure on how to go about it. So now it is telling us there are different ways to structure a CB, but the most common and effective one is the chronological CB structure. So it gave us how the structure is. And it is even giving us, look at it, fantastic. It is even giving us what can I call a template or an example of how your CB
Okay, yes.
should
Heading,
look like.
profile,
So
work experience,
yeah,
education,
education
skills.
skills section. So now it is giving us a CV of someone. They call him recruitment consultant. So look at it. There is no age, there is no sex, there is no location, there is no local government, there is no gender, and there is no saying on whether you are a single or you are divorced, widowed,
Married
or
or divorced. Okay.
so can you see that it even provide us a template or a sample on how this is how you write the profile summary, the work experience, and all other thing, and it give us, look at it right from the above, it give us best CV structure, and it give us the Zeti, one of the good people there. So it's something that we can take a look for some of us, and it even said, yes, please help me rewrite my CV, and it can help you to write your CV. Sorry, it appears like
Okay.
just a minute, please.
So just a quick one, ChatGPT can literally do almost everything for you. So now next time if I say send me a CB, please, the ChatGPT didn't mention your sex, so you don't have to mention that. Dr. Najib, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, quickly, before Nura comes in, let us take the second prompt with regard to CV. So what
Dr.
this
Najib, I
prompt
would
is
rather you
saying
say this prompt is called
is,
question,
do you have any tips
so
for
that
writing?
I mean, I want to explain to our
Okay,
audience that when you say prompt, it
okay,
means question.
okay,
Mm,
yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, in the balance of this AI, you call them
Is
prompt.
prompt.
So,
So
so
people
this
may be.
question we're asking is, this time around, I wasn't polite. I said, do you have any tips for writing a concise yet impactful personal summary that showcase my unique value proposition? So after the contact address and everything that does not have all this ASL, so sometimes you need to provide a profile or a summary. And if you can look at it from the initial thing, the example, you can see they call it profile. Sometimes they call it summary or something of that nature. So writing this is one of the things that will really attract uh, the HR people, because like they have less than 1 minute for you to read and make impression on whether you are a good guy or whether they want to really even invite you for a for an interview when you scale the ATS one. So now this is something, it is trying to help us on what we need to put in the profile summary. Then you keep your summary short, choose word wisely, and include figures. Use a simple formula. Here is a simple formula they provide, and here is how to provide your summary. There is a link that you can go and learn from. There is a link that you can go and learn from. So quickly, there is another important question you need to ask in order to learn how to craft the applicant tracking system. The question is, can you please provide a list of industry-specific hard skills that are highly sought after by employees? So these are specific skills. So now we are asking Bing Chat to help us with the most common that cut across universally from a lot of employers. So let us see what are some of these specific hard skills that Okay, so these are the list of industry specific hard skills. It is giving us industry by industry. Like if you are in automotive or project management or advertising and marketing, these are some of the skills. So you can keep asking the chatbot. So one other question is, it has to do on whether there are other specific soft skills that employees commonly look for in a candidate, so that you know how to tweak them in your skills section of the CV. So the last one is just a question you are asking on whether there are specific strategies for highlighting your hard and soft skills. Nura, are you prepared?
Yes, Dr. Najib, I believe I am ready for the next,
Okay, just give us just 1 minute to sort this out. These are some of the soft skills that you can really highlight that almost universal in some of the work you will be looking for: communication, creativity, leadership, collaboration, adaptability, among others. So the last question is, are there any strategies for highlighting the synergy between my hard and soft skill to make my CV stand out? So you can ask Bing Chat, and it will advise you so that you can learn how to tweak your CV when you are sending to any recruiter or website they are looking for candidate. So Nura, I think you can take over.
Okay,
Okay.
Dr.
You
Nana,
can share
before
your.
you come in,
Yes.
A quick
Yeah.
one to our audience. You know, the fact that you can ask Bing Chat or Chat GPT doesn't mean that you just take everything. When Dr. Najib mentioned tweak, it means like try to actually redo it and make it like it should be what they are looking for. Let's say they are looking for communication, maybe officer. Don't go and be writing maybe okay, the fact that okay you have a hard skill in dancing, then you just mentioned that okay dancing is one of the skills you acquire. Automatically it will shift you out the computer. So but ChatGPT is just like an enhancer. That is why we say one of the reason is to improve your productivity. It will help you write the CV, but doesn't mean you copy and go and paste and send to the recruiter. No, you actually remodel it to suit what are the specific requirement, the job description, any position you are applying for. Thank you. Dr. Nura, over to you.
All right. So let me share my entire screen so that you can be see
Okay.
the, yeah. So now, yeah, you can see the screen. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Yes, it is. So let me apologize to our audience that actually I'm using a dual boot or parallels. I'm using Mac machine and then add Windows to it. So somehow just before we began this, the Windows went into update and it took time. It has to restart. So after restarting, some things are not going well, but I think I can manage to share, the prompts we prepared for this part of the webinar. So I believe while I was away, Dr. Najib must have taken you through different, like questions you need to ask the thing to give you based on market research about the Moringa product or whatever product you choose to do a market research on. So the next section is how do you fund that business? How do you get funds, to start, that business? So actually, we have a series of questions. Later we will tell you how do you even get these questions because it's very important. You see, I think about 10 or 15 of different questions. How do you get them and ask the right question for your, individual circumstances. So the first one,
Um, eh, just additional information.
yeah,
When you say funding, it means, for example, you have a good idea. When I kasuwanci naka da zaka yi misali na Moringa, okay, there are people wanda su kuma just the idea you have, you don't have money. Malam Nura will take us through, okay, how do you get money so that you can actually execute this your idea? I'm trying to make it like a sort of like Hausa, like so that
yes,
they should get the message. So you say funding, maybe somebody what is funding. So to get money, somebody will give you money so that you can execute your
yes,
idea.
yes.
Thank you, Dr. Nura.
All right, so it's okay.
Mm,
So just to
mm,
add to what Dr. Tilde has just said, actually, funding, the money comes from different sources. Can be from government, from individual organizations, venture capitalists. There are different people that, they have money, you have idea. So come with your idea, we'll give you money and grow it up. So this is what we are going to find based on the questions we are going to ask. I hope my screen will be visible when I paste some of the
yes,
prompt.
it is. We can
All
see
right.
you, and you can read it for us. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
exactly. So the first one,
mm.
actually, we are asking what are the available funding options for startups or businesses in Nigeria? This is one of the questions. What are the available funding? So if we ask this guy, the chat thing, they will search and give
I thought
us.
it's gender neutral.
Yeah,
Being.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, okay, so this
Okay.
thing, so this thing,
Mm.
sometimes, yeah. So it's giving
Before it
us
sue you.
different, yeah, different options or available, based on the question we ask. So there is tip, there is boy, the tip actually Tony Elumelu entrepreneurship program.
Empowerment. Mm,
There is
mm.
Bank of Industry. There is Africa's business heroes, and we have grants and angel investors. And then we have get a job that sustains your finance needs. Okay, so these are some of the available fundings. So the next question that we got is, can you provide information on government grants or program supporting business funding in Nigeria? So this is
So
a Okay.
The first question, the
Yeah.
answer that gave us, okay, there are like 5 based on the question we asked her. Ina ake
Yeah.
samun kuɗi? Ina da idea na
Yes.
haka. That
Yeah.
is the first question. So the second one is that, go on.
Yeah. The second one is, can you provide information on government grants or programs supporting businesses funding in Nigeria? So now we
Okay.
want to specify the source from government aspect.
Mm,
Okay.
mm. The
So that's
previous one, it may include individual, but this one,
yeah,
okay, na gwamnati muke taɗi.
yeah,
Okay, gwamnati ina take ta ba mu kuɗi, ina so in yi kasuwa haka, ina ake samun wannan kuɗin.
yes.
Good, let's see what it has
Yeah.
to offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one is government. Okay, Bank of Industry. Bank of Industry. We have Lagos State Entrepreneurs Trust Fund. We have Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program (GEEP). We have International Development Funding. We have
Wow.
Africa's Business Heroes (ABH). So these are, some of the sample. Actually, there are descriptions that you can read, through and understand what each one does. And if you look at the results, there are clickable links. I think Dr. Najib has, I think, mentioned this, but you can click and even follow the main web content or web resource for this one, so that you can even read beyond the brief given to you here on the Bing prompts. So, actually, then the next follow-up question will be on, what are the popular venture capital firms or angel investors in Nigeria that provides funding for businesses? So you can see now we are asking, okay, outside government, what other options do you have? That means venture capital is people with money that needs people with ideas.
Okay, a quick one here too. There are
Mhm.
two things. Angel investors. There are people just like Adam. He has, let's say, for example, I don't have, but let's assume I have money. As an individual. So you come with your idea. Okay, you say, okay, you're going to be exporting moringa. What do you need? You need 10 million. Okay, I will give you 10 million, but I will have 25% equity. It means, okay, I will own 25% of one business. Akwai kuma venture capitalist, su kuma group ne, company ne, ko kuma mutane da dama haka su goma, su ma sun haɗa kuɗinsu, and they will be funding businesses. Just a difference between angel investor and a venture capitalist. So, okay, irinsu, where are they? Who are they? Look at the answers.
Yeah, so from the answers, we have
Mm,
ventures platform,
mm.
we have Eco V partners, we have Greenhouse
Mm.
Capital, we have
Lagos.
Ingressive Capital,
Mm.
and then Micro Traction. These are some of the things. There may be more, but
There are many. Mm, mm,
yeah, I mean, they just give,
mm.
maybe the famous five, or, frequently used five. So these are some of the things you can do. And as we are
Good.
showing you this prompt, don't stick your mind to only this. We are just giving you an example. Your business may be entirely on something that may not even require funds. You just need maybe other people with the same idea. How do you source people to run things? So
Mm,
just, yeah, open your mind. Don't just close it to
mm.
what we are showing you here. So then
Wow.
the next one, actually, are there any specialized fund or organization in Nigeria that focus on supporting specific industry or sectors? So, when you have an idea for a business, so the business can fall under different categories. For example, I want to develop a software, so it falls under information technology. And if you go to organization A, they say, no, we don't give money for anyone, trying to do business in IT. They work maybe with agriculture. So you have to develop an idea that is related to agriculture. So this follow-up question is asking, how do we have industry-specific funders, people that can give you money based on certain industry? So this is what this prompt is about. So, are there any specialized fund or organization in Nigeria that focuses on supporting specific industries or sectors? Dr. Tilde.
Now, okay,
Tilde,
what do you?
are there any specialized funds or organizations in Nigeria that focus on supporting specific industries or sectors?
Kaga, this is also very critical. so that you'll not actually be asking a lot of questions. You can tailor your question. Maybe you are just in mining, kind of in mining, I don't know, Hausa, or you are agriculture. So instead of maybe asking generic question, you can ask specific tailored made question. Okay, who are the industry, okay, any entity or venture capitalists who are supporting agriculture based ideas? She can take it directly to agriculture. So take you to mining or take you to ICT. Okay, Bank of Agriculture or anyone.
No, no, no. We
Mhm.
have Nigerian Humanitarian Fund, NHF.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so
International
yeah,
Development
so
Funding.
actually this one they respond to most pressing or critical emergencies in a fast changing environment. So this is to do with emergency response. There is flood, there is,
Mm,
so you want fund from them. So this is where you go. And then we have International Development Fund. It's a UK
mm,
government initiative that provides grants and technical assistance for development projects in various sectors such as health, education, governance, climate change,
mm,
agriculture. So you can see now they
mm,
specify exactly where they can fund you. So if you have project outside this, don't even go to this kind of people.
mm,
Then we have Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). It's a government. This is a government agency that
mm,
regulates and develops Nigerian capital market. So this is about capital stock market.
mm.
Mostly to do with money exchange and shares. All these things. So this is how you can do. So if you have a business idea related to this, these are some of the things you can. So
Okay.
then, yeah. Any the quick Benny?
No.
All right. So the follow-up question is about what are the requirements and application processes for accessing funding from Nigerian financial institutions such as bank and microfinance institution. So now, if you identify where to go and ask for money, then now you need to. The next question is how do I apply? What are the process? What are the requirements? To even put your application together and approach these identified bodies. So let's ask for this. So it's coming. You know, so we are specific. We are narrowing the question within the Nigerian context. So we are talking about Nigeria. Maybe if you want to go global, of course you can ask. Around the world in Europe, in America, in Asia, you can have this kind of like selective regions. But how this one we start for the banks, banks are the most common source of funding for businesses in Nigeria. So you can see now and there's more explanation about those things. Yeah. Then we have microfinance institutions. Microfinance institutions are specialized financial institutions that provide small scale loans to and other financial services to low income individuals like farming, little, small farming actually, I mean, like some menial jobs. You can go for microfinance and then look for funding. So these are the two things, and the detailed explanation of these things. Actually, we don't have time to go through. Is there? How do you apply? What are the things required to go for these things? So it's all given to you. So the next one is what are the international funding opportunities or organizations that provide financial support to businesses outside Nigeria? So now, because the moringa, as Dr. Najib was explaining, you want to export it outside. So can you get the funds from outside? Yes, it's possible. So you can ask what are the bodies or organizations that can provide funds for people within Nigeria. You may be living in Nigeria and you want the funds to come from outside. It may be from Arabs, from Europe, America, where So there are different things. So you can see there is the first one is called UK Aid Direct. They provide funds for different civil society and other things. We have GSMA Innovation Fund for Climate Resilience and Adoption 2.0. Then we have International Science Partnership Fund, EU funded projects, grants for individual and organizations. So these are just an example of outside organization that can support Nigerians. Then another one, can you suggest any global venture capital firm or angel investor network that invests in businesses outside their home countries? So, well, you can see that we are just asking different questions, but even though we are looking for one thing, but you need to have a wider view of the sources available to get funds for your business. So sorry, it may take a little while, but we are giving you the whole, like 360 view of what you can do to get funding
This
for
is
your
really
business.
interesting.
Yeah. So actually, yeah,
Next time, Dr. Tilde, you have to pay us because
yeah,
it
you
appears
know,
like we are
in an
giving you consultancy free of charge.
yeah,
No, yeah, actually, we are giving back to society. So
Okay.
it's one of the why for the webinar.
so in a normal situation,
Mm,
this information you have to go to library, read a lot of
mm,
books, consult professors, pay for marketing. I mean, for market
mm.
researchers. You need to spend a lot to get this information, and now we have it compressed within 1.5 hours. So I believe this is, a giant leap in civilization. So it helps us. Okay,
Certainly.
sorry. So we have 500 startups. Where there are organizations that they can fund outside their country of residence. They may be in America, but they fund people outside. So when you go to their website, you can see where they support. Even for example, the first one, 500 startups. This is a global venture capital firm and accelerator that invests in early startups across various sectors and regions. So they say 500 startups has packed over 2,500 companies in more than 75 countries, including Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Egypt, and South Africa. Where they can support people. And then we have Y Incubator, we have Angel Investor
Why
Investment Network,
incubator?
we have Global Angel
Combinator.
Investor Network Gain.
Why
So
combinator? Yeah.
you can see, so these are all opportunities you can explore.
A rider, Dr. Nura, to this one is that our participant and our audience, we don't want you to actually just play locally. We also want you to play at the global level.
Exactly.
We want to see more of Dangote's, more of Otedolas, more of Dr. Najib's. So while Dr. Nura also explained, okay, source of funding from business, from angel investors in Nigeria, from government, okay, now here is a global platform. Don't limit yourself to only think that okay, it's only Bank of Industry or Tony Elimelu. No, there is Y Combinator. What are you doing? When we say startup, it means whatever it is, whether in agriculture, when a company, baby company kake da shi, shine startup din naka haka, ko a me sunan shi, ko a Lipton ne, ko kuma a Rama ne kake gyarawa, ko kuka ne kake yaka, ko wanda inda zaka musu bayani za su baka kuɗi. Ko a Najeriya, ko a gwamnatance, ko kuma a duniyance. Shine abin da tura mana ɗan ƙarin bayani kenan haka. Okay, da tura. Go on the next question.
Thank you, Dr. Tilde. So then the next question is: are there any international grants, competitions, or accelerators that provide funding for innovative startups? So this thing, I think, innovative. Bidi kenan ko?
When they say innovative in a
Yes.
simpler way is that, you used to do, let's say, people used to do something like this. Okay, just come up with maybe another idea that can simplify it. It's just an innovation.
Yeah.
No, how can you enhance it? It's innovation. For example, usually ana say da kuka, baobab, miyan kuka, just a daka ta haka. Okay, why not, for example, now you can, let's say, instead of zallan kuka, add crayfish taste to it.
Yeah.
Unlike normal kuka, now, okay, the kuka will have a sort of like aroma for, crayfish. Or you can fortify it with vitamin. Okay, you want maybe kanashan kuka, but we need vitamin A so that to enhance our eyesight. Then you actually, fortify wannan garin kukan with vitamin A. This is innovation. So whatever it is that you can add, whether it is in computer or in mining, that will make that product, you improve it, you change the way it is being doing. Okay, you are just innovation. So that would not be actually customers technical terms. Somebody
Yeah.
may think it is really one avenue daga
Yeah. It doesn't.
mass.
Exactly. Yeah. It
So
doesn't have to be like you create something that has never. You're supposed to add things.
yes.
It can be creative, or it's an art sometimes. Art meaning you just create something out of maybe mistake sometimes.
Nothing.
Just add this, and playing with things, some things can grow. A lot of
Sorry, we
innovation.
have 10 minutes. I think we need to rush up.
Really.
We need to
So
have,
then the
I,
second
I
second
don't think we need to exhaust all the prompt
Okay,
since
so
we
yeah,
are going to
only
have
two
the,
last
the
more.
prompt.
So, what are the key criteria or factors investors look for when considering funding a business? So, what are the things the funders, people you are looking for money from, what are they looking at when you, request for fund? So, this is what we are now asking them to tell us. So, I hope this will give us, a clue, because sometimes before you even go beyond certain stage, you need to know all this information so that you prepare yourself and know, okay, amongst from the market research, from the funding, what are the things I don't have, that do I need to get all the requirements or the things before I proceed, is very important. So this being will help you plan ahead. So before, for example, you just went and finished market research, and then when you come to funding, a lot of things you don't have. You don't have a bank account. You don't have a corporate, like registration, and maybe you don't have anything to prove that, oh, this is my original idea. So then the whole thing, you have wasted the market research. Now comes to funding, you cannot get it because you missed something. So it's better you go through the charting, all these things to get all the things you need. All
Thank
right.
you so
So
much, Dr. Nora.
yeah,
Jazakallah khair. One quick question to you guys.
yes,
The question goes like, is Africa ready for the incursion of artificial intelligence?
yeah.
And the
So
second one is that, what is Africa? Okay, developing countries like US and EU as a continent are currently debating legislation on how to regulate AI.
yeah,
What
yeah.
is Africa doing toward that direction?
Wow. Yeah.
We are also asking the same question. That is why we had our
Yeah.
first seminar,
Mm,
because like during that chat GPT seminar we had last
mm,
2 or 3 months ago,
mm,
one of the reason we paused during the webinar was like there were so many uproar around the world. And like
mm,
in the UK universities, they have completely changed their academic integrity policy. And recently, Italy has even blocked the access of ChatGPT before it lifted it. And there are so many legislation, and even the ChatGPT founder was even asked to come to
Parliament.
uh, the parliament to tell us what is going on around. But to
mm,
my knowledge, I have been following a lot of uh, thing online. I am yet to hear any public pronouncement from any public officer in Nigeria, either from the NETDA, either from the presidency, either from education stakeholders. There is this kind of like silence. So we are also asking such type of questions, and we are really worried
Yeah.
because we need to understand where
so,
do we go from
the
there,
good thing, the
and how
person
do
that
we
asks actually has a
recalibrate our
big.
curriculum.
Hmm. No, the
Sorry.
good thing is that the person that asks the question is actually has a big platform in Radio France. So now over to our brother and our mentor, Malam Bashir. Now you can actually ask our, what do you call them, our policy makers. Okay, hey, this is where the world
Yeah.
is moving on. What are
Yeah.
you doing? Dr. Najib, Dr. Noura, this is really
Yes.
a wonderful presentation. And to our participant, you can see how
Yeah.
beautifully designed the presentation is. If you are looking for a job, well, Dr. Najib has actually helped you in that regard by how to actually organize your CV. Not just those, I don't want to see any CV again that is actually mentioning all those non-issues. Now you have ChatGPT to help you to actually what make a good CV so that you get invitation. Without CV, you're gonna be invited to any job. So the question of okay, hey, I'm looking for a job, I didn't get a job, I've been applying, I didn't get invited for any interview. No, the problem is not from the interviewee, it's from the interview guy, it's from you. So now with in Bing Chat, your problem is being solved. The second one, which is very, very critical, which is very important, is how now that in this global arena that we want you guys to play is that okay, we have so many products and we have number of Nigerians in the UK. Our brother Dr. Nura is actually talking to us from the UK, and he may be in the demand of kubewa or in the demand for zobo. Okay, with that market analysis that Dr. Najib saw us through, okay, now you can easily use this prompt and add another one to actually get a good market research, you know. And to tie with that, then you have what a beautiful presentation from Dr. Nura on
Yeah.
how to get funding. I don't have Jari. No, your problem is being sorted.
Yeah.
You had been exposed to using ChatGPT. That's nothing like when Saifi and Haka, you are there, you only copy the question, then film to Bing Chat, or give us the answer. So you can do that in your own comfort, from your own comfort on your bed. Okay, hey, what do I have? What are they in demand? You can even use that Bing Chat to actually ask them, okay, hey, what is in demand? What are the products that okay Africans in the UK are actually in need of? Then from there you can be asking your questions so that it can help you. After that, you can get where you can go revisit this presentation, watch it again, and see okay how best can I get funding. So I hope by this our audience are now actually have a better appreciation of what this Bing Chat is capable of doing. And believe you me, and you bear me witness, here are like 3 critical cases that you can make best use of. And we will actually, after the presentation, we will share the prompt. The prompt is not meant for you to actually commit it to your memory. No, it's just to actually equip you with skills on how to ask beautiful questions so that you can get beautiful answer to your problem. Whatever problem you have, whatever you may think of, just ask Bing Chat so that now it will justify our four cardinal thing that we mentioned earlier. Okay, we want boundless opportunities. You have seen that. Improve productivity. You have seen that in making your CV. And this is our corporate social responsibility. Dr. Najib, you are giving back to society, so yeah, don't think of actually asking us for money. Brothers and sisters, this brings us to the end of this presentation. And
I
keep
think
tab with. Is there
Dr.
something?
Tilde, just give us just 1 minute to complete this one. Just one
Okay,
minute.
which one? Okay, so
Yeah,
we
there
have
is
two
another
minutes
one
to 10.
for
So
yeah, there is another one for generating images. I think those who are
oh
using Bing Chat, you realize there is this more creative, more balanced, or more precise tone. So if you
Yeah.
want to generate image, you use more creative. For example, now I said, could you please provide an image of two young teenage ladies of northern Nigerian descent wearing white hijab and holding books in their hands? So let's see on whether ChatGPT, because I said, please, we don't know on whether it can help us generate this type of image. So uh, it say, sure, I can try to create this image for you. So this for people making presentation or doing other thing in their work, or you can be creative to start selling a lot of images. So this is just an example of this is the prompt we said. You can see what Bing Chat generate for us. An image of two young teenage ladies of northern Nigerian descent wearing white hijab and holding book in their hands. So we can change the books to laptops if we like. We can ask ChatGPT. Now they are holding books. How about changing the book to laptop? Let us see how Bing Chat can help us do such task.
hmm?
You know,
So,
sometimes passive computer when okay, now it changed the laptop, and probably we can ask them to change the background of the images. So we ask them, can you add background of a school? So let's see how we can still tweak the image.
Ah, so you can do a lot of things with this Bing chat.
Yeah,
Uh, Even image generation.
yep.
Could we still say seeing is believing or believing is seeing now?
So
no,
so
no,
change
see,
the
don't believe.
background.
That's what I say.
You can see,
Uh,
Yeah.
but I don't like the background. I want the background to be a little bit modern, if that Adam will allow me. So let us see how the background will change. So you can keep asking and you can keep tweaking till you are satisfied with the kind of image. So probably Abdul, can you share with us the okay? And it is also wanting us to add some student in the background, but I think we can stop from here. We still have some outstanding prompt we didn't do. For example, for using Bing Chat to generate a visual basic code to generate a
Um,
presentation, we have creating project plan, we have developing course outline. We were unable to go through all this because of the time. Here where I am is already 12 past 3 a.m. So I have to move from one place to another. So I think we can hand over to the moderator. Thank you, Adam.
Dr. Noor, any last word?
So my last word: let's prepare for even more surprising things from technology because it's evolving. Even though from the last question I did not respond, the world is concerned. Actually, the advanced world, they are concerned about what this AI can do. It will take a lot of people out of job. It will stop. It can cause trouble, even in wars and so many things. It can be there. So they are trying to limit the capability and power of this, technology. But whatever they do, this thing has come to stay. It can only get better. So let us learn to adapt and grow with it. That's what I can say. So just prepare to live with it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Najib, and thank you so much, Dr. Nora, for this wonderful presentation. The
Okay.
good thing is that this is recorded on YouTube, so all you can always all the time visit YouTube and watch this program. And there's another one that we had 3 months ago on actually ChatGPT. There, the rudiment of this AI were explained there, so you can always there. And don't hesitate to also share the in YouTube video that's not in sharing with your younger ones who are not on Facebook, so they can be able to actually see where the future is going and they should be prepared. At this juncture, I would actually like to thank our audience for and our followers for their attention, for their time to listen to us. Actually, is really a vote of confidence in and your belief in that we are capable of actually sharing one or two things with you. So, by virtue of you actually listening to us, Haka, we thank you, and we'll keep on actually bringing other things like Dr. Najib mentioned. There are other prompts that we need to actually go through with, but maybe some other time we'll organize another program so that you can actually see how you can do that. But like Nura mentioned to us just now, this thing has come to stay. You know, they used to say the first thing when they actually made hydraulic force, somebody was the strongest person. He used to take like a set bag of cement to like a 10-meter high, maybe, or in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So they were hailing him. Then there's just this, in 5 seconds, it is there. So you cannot actually really fight with technology. Rather, you can actually flow with it, make best use of it. And the starting point is now. And this is what actually this webinar set to achieve. And we do hope that we have achieved our aim. Thank you so much. See you next week in our program in Kaji Wane. And as for another webinar, it shall be coming, inshallah. We'll update you in due course. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Najib. Thank you, Dr. Noura, and thank you, our audience. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.